Entrepreneur Program, also called the Startup Visa Program. This is a very straightforward program for anybody who wants to start a business in Canada and who can establish with the government the viability of the business, with the government or with the designated organization. This is a Canadian permanent residence pathway for the family of the foreign entrepreneur. Let us talk about the selection process. 1. You must have a qualifying business which meets all the requirements of the program. Like, you need to have at least 10% shareholding or voting rights in the Canadian company you wish to start. And you can join with other 4 partners to start the company. The partners may be foreign nationals or foreign partners like yourself, or a mix of foreign and Canadian partners, or just another Canadian partner. You and your Canadian designated organization jointly hold at least 50% of the voting rights in the organization. Okay, so these are some conditions. Number 2, you must obtain a letter of support from the designated organization. Like, you must contact and convince a designated organization that your business idea is good and that they are willing to invest and or support it. The designated organization must also be willing to invest or support your idea as much as to give you a letter of support, which can be used by your Canadian, by you in your Canadian permanent residence application. Number 3, you must demonstrate you have a fair working knowledge of English or French. You can do this by writing a test and obtaining a result which will show that you have knowledge to run a business in Canada. It could be in English or in French. IELTS is a English testing exam, and the expected scores are minimum of reading 4.0, writing 5.0, listening 5.0, and speaking 5.0. This is not very difficult to obtain, and they are just seeking minimum scores. Number 4, in addition to your startup investment amount, if there is any, you must bring an amount which is reasonable for your family to resettle in Canada. Keep one thing in mind, that this program does not have a minimum investment amount. If you have an innovative idea which designated organizations find enough value to support, you can also arrive in Canada without any business financial investment other than the investment of your idea and expertise. The amount depends on the number of people. For resettlement, the amount depends on the number of people in your family, including your spouse and dependents. The amount varies between Canadian 13,213 to Canadian 34,967, depending on the number of people in your family, which could range from 1 to 7 or even more, in which case the figure will increase. Now, this figure changes every year depending on the cost of living for that year, which is determined by the government. Now, this is a program which I just talked about. That is the qualifying program in a nutshell. There are several stages. Paulinsis has a preparedness program for entrepreneurs, and once you pay this amount, we will first evaluate your inadmissibility norms so that you do not invest more money and then find out about an inadmissibility condition which could make you inadmissible in Canada for Canadian permanent residence. During the initial preparedness period, we will first check on inadmissibility issues, and if we identify any inadmissibility conditions, we will stop offering our service and refund the preparedness fee collected after holding a small $100 service fee. Please refer to inadmissibility evaluations in this webinar, which could give you an idea of what inadmissibility conditions are for permanent residents.